Hello. Hi, Ebony. Me too. Good evening. Good evening. Christine Omega. Good evening. Toyosi, I see you. Good evening. Yes, tonight is gonna be lit. Ra ra. You didn't miss today. No, no. We're just getting ready for Stella Damasus to come on. Ha ha ha. Eh. Yes, Drifty Smile, that's me, the weird MC. Yes. I'm just waiting for my guests to come on. I just wanted people to file in, tease you a little bit. Vico. Oh, you can't hear me. Hi. Why now? Hello, can you hear me? Ah, can't hear again. Why? Hey, please, oh, this thing should not start tonight. Hello, can you hear me now? Hello? Hello? Hello, can you hear me? You can hear me. Ah, you were being heard. No, Toyosi said she couldn't hear me for a second. So I was like, I know everything has been connected perfectly. Everything is fine. I can see my audio interface. You can hear me now. Okay, you can hear me now. You can hear me now. Toyosi, you give me a new chorus. You can hear me now. Ra, ra. Yes, today is the 21st of April. Yes, my guest is here. I see her. I sight her. You are all welcome to another episode of the Gatekeeper series. The person that I'm about to bring on, hey, singer, minister, activist. She's everything. I can't even describe her. Actor, as an ACTOR, actor, producer, director, writer, everything. I bring you, without further ado, I mean, prolong. I bring her on, my sister, Stella, Stella Damasus. Not Damascus, Damasus. Stella Damasus. Good evening, people. The Gatekeeper series is gonna be lit tonight. Sing. Ra 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 ra. Good evening. I see you. How you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. Thanks for having me.
So good to have you. Thank you for blessing us. Thank you. You're welcome to the Gatekeeper series. I'm welcoming you officially. So sis, let's dive right in. Where do I was thinking, where do I start from? Okay, I'm going to start from this. Who is Stella Damasus? Who is she?
Stella is a soon-to-be 44-year-old woman who is Nigerian, based in America, but people know me as an actor, singer, everything you said. But I see myself as a woman who evolves every day, who is here to impact and change lives.
That's right.
Who's here to fulfill God's purpose in her life. That's who I
am. Okay, sis, starting out, because you know the funniest part, I always knew you as a vocalist. The very first time I saw you was at Jazzville.
Yes.
The Jazzville was a jazz hall. I remember. Yeah, you had this edgy, jazzy sound. I was just watching, and then one day, I'm like, movies. So, was this the starting point for you? Was that the genesis of your movement? You started as a vocalist first.
I actually didn't see movies in my radar at any point. I was actually going to be a singer. I started in studio. I was the studio rat doing jingles and commercials, things like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so all the people that worked in the studio, they had this place that they would always go to every Friday. And I got curious. I said, okay, let me come with you to Jazzville. And that was the first time that I sang professionally on stage with a live band, went professionally. So I started out as a singer. I thought that, okay, I would release albums. I would, do all the, but by accident, a friend of mine, I followed her to an audition and ended up getting the role myself. I didn't plan it. I didn't expect it. I didn't think it was going to happen, but they called me and liked me. And that's how the whole movie thing started. It wasn't part of the plan initially at all.
Okay, when you did the audition, what was that experience like for you? Was it nerve-wracking? Who and who, what's it
The
like
funny
to
thing
to
is,
to to read for a part?
when I got there, I was actually sitting outside waiting for my friend, and a lot of people were going in and out. So someone saw me and called me in and asked me if I'd auditioned. I said, I didn't come here for the audition. And they said, well, they like the way I look and the way I sound. I should just come and read something. I was busy laughing because I didn't know about the nerves and, oh, I'm coming to audition for. So I just read and I laughed because in my head, I'm like, I walk in the studio, Joe, let me finish and go back home and get ready for work, you know? So I didn't take it too seriously. I didn't take it as, oh, I'm about to get a job. I have to impress anyone. I wasn't there to impress anyone. I was just having fun. I just read and left. And lo and behold, they liked my fun and came, and offered me the job. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
So after that, going in now full thrust,
Yeah.
because this is the Gatekeeper series and something there's this mindset that we're trying to crush, this microwave mindset that this generation has. I just want to blow. I just want to enter the movies and blow. So take us through that process after you did your first movie.
Mhm.
And then now, of course, you have to read for more movies, do more. What was that process like?
For me, when I got that first job, that was just a foot in the door. I
Mm,
didn't see it as, oh, I've arrived. I have this job now. I'm a star. No, because I was still a studio rat. I didn't leave my job. But after that, because that job paid me more than my studio was paying me for a whole month. And I'm like, well,
mm,
good. I had a great time doing it. It's something that came to me naturally and I was paid, but I know that there's a process to everything. You don't just delve into an industry and think, oh, because they like this one, I'm going to be there. So I had to find out what the process was. I knew I had to join a guild. I had to attend meetings. I had to look out for auditions. I had to go and watch people. I had to get, a mentor that I would watch and say, okay, this is how they do it. So I started auditioning. I would go from Sule to Festac, to Ikeja, Yanopaja, different places, auditions. And it wasn't an easy thing. What saved me was that I had done one job before, but apart from that, they saw my tenacity because a lot of people tend to do one job, your face is on a poster, and that's it, you relax. You're waiting for people to start calling you. But that's
mm.
where work really starts. So from then on, I started going to all the auditions that I could find. I got a lot of rejection, a lot of no, a lot of your voice is not strong enough, you're not qualified, your face is not selling face yet. A lot of, let's say out of 20 auditions that I will go to, I will get 19 no. I'm probably
Wow,
yeah.
19.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It was that tough then because then it wasn't about man no man or oh she's just a pretty face or oh there was no social media so you can't say because I have followers. This was based off of confidence, your talent, you being able to hold your own. I mean, I was looking at people who had been seen on TV. I was so intimidated and it got the best of me. It took me a while. It took me years and experience to learn that no matter who you're working with, your confidence is very important. Just believe in what you want to do and go for it. Yeah.
How do you prepare for a role? I remember something that Mama Tawa Jaila said to me when I asked her this question. She said she meditates on the script
Mm.
until the words become flesh.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you, how do you prepare for a role? You get a script, and then how do you now start to prepare for that role?
Mm.
Immersing yourself into that, particular character.
Yeah. So my process is slightly different from a lot of people. For
Mm,
me to even take on the job, the role has to speak to me. It's one thing
mm,
for a good script. There's another thing for me to have a role that can speak to me. If I can imagine becoming that role and it takes me on a journey that I'm not used to, a journey that will really break me, a journey that will bring out a lot in me that I have to work extra. Because after a while, you get tired of doing just anything that anybody can do. It's all this simple girlfriend, yeah, cry, yeah. You want something. So if I pick up a script, I want my role to speak to me. So I first read the story as a normal person to enjoy the story, to see what it's about. And then
mm.
then I want to find out what's the character that I've been given, what's the relevance in the story, and what what part of the storytelling am I involved in? What's my job? What's my mission? What's my purpose in this story? And then I start to reduce how you know how you say, if let me talk as a Christian, forgive me, you guys. You know how you say, I die daily for God to I want God to take preeminence in my life. You know, but I have to be dead for God to rise up in me. That's kind of like what I do with my characters. I put Stella in the back burner and I become someone. So regardless of who that person is, I have to become that person. So if I'm playing my role, if I'm speaking my words and I'm getting into my character, I want to take you to another level where you don't see Stella. You see a character that moves you. So sometimes I move you to cry. I move you to laugh. I move you to be so emotional. You will forget that you're seeing a movie because I have become someone else and I'm telling you a story. So if the character doesn't speak to me, I have a problem with it. I won't take the job. And then if I accept the character, I want to be able to enter inside of it and leave Stella behind and go for it and make it as authentic as possible. Because at that point, if I'm on set and you probably say, oh, Stella, I'd rather you call me my character name, that makes a whole difference to me because I'm living and breathing that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, coming in, is it kind of similar to us? Coming in, you're not starting to get people are not starting to like recognize you. Do you do the same thing we do? Get yourself a manager or you get yourself an agent to start pitching you for roles, or is it pretty much a DIY ethic?
Me, I'm very stubborn. So for a long time, I didn't have an official manager or an official. It was always me and Rume. Rume is like my right hand. We were always the ones to look at everything, look at contracts, look at scripts and everything. So I really didn't get a professional manager because, let me be honest with you, it was difficult for me to find somebody who would be able to handle me as a person, my personality. Someone who would be able to manage Stella as an actor, Stella as a singer, Stella as a publisher, Stella as the activist, Stella as, everything that I do. Would you be able to manage it? Because we didn't have a lot of people who were trained in the aspects of management and entertainment law and things like that that can balance me out. I met a lot of them, had meetings with a lot of them, and people kept trying to put me in a box. They kept trying to say, Stella, don't confuse people. If it's acting, just do only acting. Then after a while, you can now don't do too many things. Just do this one thing. So we'll focus on that because you confuse people. I'm like, people who know me can never be confused at the fact that God blessed me with talents. And if I'm a multi-talented person, I can't reduce myself to please you or to fit into a societal norm of what an actor should be. I'm a person with different parts. Acting is just one of my expressions of my art because I'm a creative. So you can't box me in. So it took me years. I won't lie. I just for the first time this year found a manager that understands me, that's working. Coincidentally, I met her when I went to Nigeria this year, and thankfully, we've known each other for over 20 years, but we never worked together. For the first time, we are coming together to work as, management and artists. So I finally got.
Awesome. I'm laughing because I'm reading Bookie's comments. She's here. Your person. She's here.
My dear.
Yeah, Bookie Unstoppable. Stella, the casting couch.
Yeah.
Is that a real thing? Does that go down in Nigeria?
It does. Mightily. It does.
Wow.
It is one of the scary aspects of what we do, because it seems like your future, your profession, your career lies in the hands of other people. And, sometimes when some people get some little measure of authority or they have something that they're in a decision-making position, a lot of them abuse that power. And that makes the artist suffer. Because it sometimes, and most of the time, is no longer about who can bring great talent to the table who can bring authenticity to the table. It now becomes who has more following, who's more controversial, who's more social, who's more out there. It's more of money than craft. It's more of the looks than ability and capability. So that casting thing is a major issue that we've been talking about. And I feel bad for the younger creatives in this generation who are really trying to do something good with themselves and their lives. But you have people who, make them say, people who see them and say, if you don't do this, you won't get this. If you don't come to my hotel room, you don't get this. If you don't have up to 500,000 followers, you don't get this. You don't.
They do that now.
Yes.
Oh, they do that now.
Oh, yeah. You must. If your following is higher than another person's own, the person might have better talent than you ever can have, but they will pick you over the person because you have more following on social media. People are going through it right now. They're still now. Before, it was only the female actors that go through this whole idea of, if I don't go and see a producer in his hotel room, I don't get a job. Now, male actors are going through it too, from both men and women. If you don't come take care of my physical needs, you don't get the part. So some people stay 5 months, 6 months, 1 year, no job. Some succumb. Some go and work in a bank. I have a lot of people who have given work in other places because they got tired of what's going on. So you would wonder that's why in America they have people whose jobs are to cast. They are companies.
Yes.
They are casting directors. They have associations.
Yes.
And they have their criteria based on the needs and the requirements of the script. So it's their job. But the way we do it at our end, we deprive a lot of people, a lot of talent from what they've been called to do. And it's crazy. Yep.
No, I'm actually stunned about so they check out your numbers now as well to cast you in a movie. That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
I thought I was just having it. My goodness. That's interesting.
It is.
So you were juggling music alongside what you were doing movie-wise. How would you describe the Stella Damasus sound?
I'm old school. I love music. I love music that can transcend beyond generations. I'm an acoustic soul kind of person. I try not to pin myself down to genres. I try not to pin myself down to, gospel music here, secular music here, this. I love music. Today you find me singing, I love you, Lord. Tomorrow you find me singing, let's get alone tonight, and for me, it's just the beauty of creativity, knowing that intentions are not evil or anything. It's just beautiful sound, beautiful music with great lyrics that, tell stories. And music for me is therapy. So no matter what it was doing, there was always music. For me, it was therapy. No matter what I'm going through, there's a song that speaks to you, that ministers to you. Even when I'm on set, when I want to also have scenes that are very emotional and very deep for me, just go sit somewhere else, put my earphones on, and I play some songs, and they take me to a zone that no human being, no training, no book, because I've read them, nothing can get me there. It's music. Nothing can calm me down when I'm like, this is too much for me. Even when I pray, sometimes I pray in singing. I'm saying the words. It's not a song I've heard before, but I'm singing my prayer because that's how I communicate. That's how I live. So music is always there.
Wow. I love that. Singing your prayers. I love that. So you were everywhere. You blew up. You're in our faces, the magazines, everywhere. Then all of a sudden, you just left. You just relocated. What happened? Why did you relocate? What really happened?
So before I relocated, before I left Nigeria, I had actually stopped acting while I was in Nigeria. And it's not like I left the industry. I took a break because I started in the industry before I got married and before I had kids. And then when I became a single mom after my late hubby passed, I was working a lot to make sure that my kids don't suffer. My kids have a roof over their heads. They go to good schools. They do this, they do that. But then after a while as a mom, you have to step back and say, I've pushed, I've worked, I've raised my kids to a certain level. But now I want to be there. I want to be hands-on. I want to see them grow. I don't want to be out there working and just bringing money home, and in the morning I'm off and I don't see them. I want to see their homework. I want to go to their school. I want to go everywhere they're going. I want to know who they know. I want them to bring their friends home. I want to know my kids. They're girls. Raising girls in this generation with the things that people are exposed to, with the things that we have also experienced and seen, I said to myself, this is God's gift to me. When God gives you a gift like that, he's going to be watching and wondering what you're going to do with that gift. So I won't do, because I'm busy, then I'll leave the nannies to, take over my children. So I took a long break. I wanted to be a hands-on mom. I wanted to watch my children grow. I wanted to also grow with my kids, because don't forget, I had kids at a very early age. My first daughter, I had her when I was 21. So it was kind of like growing on the job. So I needed time to bond with my girls, to grow with my girls. And that's what happened. And then after a while, I'm not going to lie, when I started noticing the areas that my children's minds were going, I didn't want it stifled. I didn't want them to be in a suffocating environment. I wanted them to thrive. I wanted them to be in a place where they are free to be who they want to be, think the way they want to think, study what they want to study, and not, press them with this expectation of being a Nigerian mom or an African mom. Oh, by this time you should be doing this. Oh, you must study this. Oh, I didn't want to do that, because we went through that, and I wanted my children to have more. Honestly, Nigeria at that time was not the environment for them. It wasn't conducive. As I looked at my children, I said, if I leave my children here, they'll be stifled. But if I let them fly, the world will experience what God has given them, because children are gifted and intelligent. So I said, you know what? May them come here. I can put myself last, put myself at the back burner. My career can take a break. I don't mind. Most important for me, my children. Let them be in a place where they can thrive. Let them be in a place where there's good health care too. So that
yes.
As women, there are different things that you experience as a woman, and health-wise, you want to make sure that everything is how it's supposed to be. I wanted them to have an exposed mind, so that they're in a place you are dealing with people from different cultures, different walks of life, and the way the education is coming to you, it will make you want to learn more and research more and start to do things even earlier than wait until after university before you start working. No, so I knew, okay, it was time. This was majorly part of the reason, but for me, it was more important to make sure that whatever I do, the children come first, and for me, I wanted them to benefit more. Yeah.
Awesome. Now you come, you relocate. So you're literally like starting all over again. It's like you're starting afresh. What was that like for you? Were you nervous? Were you afraid? Tell us, what was that experience like?
Everything. I was scared. I was nervous. I doubted myself so many, because you are thrown, how you're in Nigeria, you're like a big fish in a small pond. Then you come to America, you're a tiny dot in a huge ocean. First of all, I don't sound like them. My culture, my upbringing, everything is different. So it's one thing to come and relocate to America. It's another thing to be able to get into their culture without losing yourself at the same time, without losing your values at the same time. Because it's one thing to go to a place where you have freedom of everything, is another thing to balance it so that freedom doesn't deceive you to the point that you lose your values, you lose your sense of decency, you lose your discipline, you lose everything that you've learned coming from home, But it was hard, because trying to get into the entertainment world in America is one of the most difficult things, especially as an actor, because if you think I got plenty no's in Nigeria, this is where I got it the most, because the first thing they said to me when I started talking to management, agents, casting, and all that. If we want to give you a role, you have to look very dark. You know, we expect you to be Lupita Dark. You're too light-skinned to be like the African that we want to portray or that Hollywood has in mind. And then you're not light enough to be, you know, mixed race and everything. You're just, you know, in the middle. And then you don't sound African. You don't sound African enough. I'm like, I keep wondering how Africans are supposed to sound when we're from
What?
And in all our countries, there are different dialects. But anyway, I don't sound African enough. I don't sound British. I don't sound American enough. So in their defense, they're saying Hollywood is not ready to start writing scripts for people like me because they don't see me as someone that can play, you know, this African that is migrating and she's local. I'm like, you don't even know what I can do. Like, but the thing is, when they see you, when they hear you, they want to know if you can do this. Or so if they see you, you're too refined, you're educated, you're this and that, and they hear the this under everything when they talk. But I'm like, it's okay, it's okay.
You're too refined. You're too refined.
Yeah. So when they say I don't sound African enough, like they expect me to speak like Kunta Kinte. So I'm like, okay, I get it. It's fine. So I'm like, I can't force myself to sound like Akata. I came to America when I was 35. My tongue, they don't nail them to Niger soil. I cannot fake it. So I didn't grow up in England. So I can't do it. I can't do it. So as far as my accent is not African, for me, I sound like every average Nigerian out there. But to them, I don't sound like I have to come from a local village. So I don't know what So it was hard. It was hard. I tried and tried. After a while, I started,
oh my goodness.
Is it that I'm not good enough or these people won't accept people like me? And then I started to understand the politics in Hollywood, that even the African Americans in here are going through the same thing. So it's not just peculiar to me. You know, it's not just about my skin tone or my accent. Even the people that were born and raised here are going through the same thing. So that's why people started going into indie productions. They started doing their own thing. And so I've said, if the Latinos can come here and create their own industries, their own award ceremonies and do that, the only problem that we as Africans have is one, greed. Two, we don't like to come together. We don't like to support each other. Everybody wants to do me. I have to be in charge, you know. If we can just remove that me, I, and say we should create a space for people like us to come here, work together, collaborate, and create a thriving industry so that all those people who are now security guards and nurses, or there's so many talented creatives that have had to survive and they've had to go do other things because they'll tell you, hunger will kill you. You dey here, they say you want to be entertained and you die of hunger, you know. But I'm saying that there are millions of Africans in America that will be enough for you to say, if I produce something as an African filmmaker, I have more than enough eyes to go to the cinema, to subscribe, to make the money that we want to make, to make the impact that we want to make. And it's crazy because we have the numbers. We do. African brothers and sisters don't gonna wanna come together. That's the problem, you know. So
wait. Hey, it's in the head not holla, I see you. But Stella, why though? Why? Especially now we have such huge potential. No, sincerely. You know, I was always on your back. Stella, I see you doing this. I see you doing that. Whenever I watch Oliver Pope, I'll be like, Stella could do that, man. I'm always on your case because I was even like watching you. You always inspiring me. Two key people that I was always checking out, you and Bookie. I was always checking you guys out. That's what I said to you. Stella, how come now? I want to see you in Scandal. One day, I want to see you in, how far? What's they going?
Even my sister.
Oh, man.
You were in Atlanta, you didn't do work with Tyler Perry. I say, Shebi, you enter Atlanta and go to front of Tyler Perry's gate and say, hey, I'm here, I'm from Nollywood, put me in your film. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. The problem that I feel that our people have, and I used to be angry in the beginning, that why don't we like to collaborate? Why are we so greedy? Why do we hate ourselves? it occurred to me that those of us who are immigrants, who were born and raised in Africa, especially in Nigeria, we were raised with survival instincts, not collaborative instincts, not collaborative process. We were raised with, you must carry first. You must be the best in this.
Yes.
If this is one, you have to be able to do it and do it even better. You know, everybody wants to survive. Everybody wants to be captain of the industry. Everybody wants to be the highest, the biggest, the top, the best, the star. We are not raised to work together. Even in schools, even our teachers, they pitch us against each other, say, you know, this one's fair. So they don't encourage us to do things together. In my children's school here, when they give them projects, they give them groups. They have group leaders. They're like, okay, you guys work on this, you guys work on this, you choose your group leader yourself, you guys work together as a team, and then come and do the presentation to all of us. They pick the leader, they pick the person that will speak, they pick the person that will design everything, they pick the person that will time it. Everybody working together to achieve something. Well, we are not raised that way. We are raised to come first. We are raised to be the best, get it. Your employer notice you. So that if somebody is working around you and the person is having difficulty, we are raised to take over that person's job and be seen and do eye service so that the boss will promote you and like you better than your colleague, because that's how we are raised. Even in the industry where I come from, they give you a script. You know that you cannot play the role. You know that this role is not for you. But you know another person who can do it. And I do it. I'll say, have you tried this person? This person is here. Let me send you look, at a point they thought I was receiving commission. Especially when I wasn't even doing things. People were calling me for jobs. I was giving out numbers. The people that even got the jobs that I gave their number, they didn't even know that I gave numbers out. I gave their numbers out. Because my mindset is different. I love teamwork. I love to collaborate. I love division of labor. I like it. But we are not raised like that. So when we come here, it's the same mindset that we have. I've seen a lot of Nigerians especially who try to build or try to register guilds, producers guilds, directors guild of America, this of America. I've seen it. They fight a lot. And the thing that causes their fights is nothing else but ego tripping. Who wants to? No, we're producing. No, I want to be the one to direct it. No, I must be the one to. All the money should come here. So that then you argue over your personal needs and wants and forget the project, which is supposed to be the important thing, and the impact that your collaboration is going to make, not just for you, but for people like you who are depending on you to create them to be a part of it again. So it's tough. It's
wow.
Yeah.
But against the norm, you broke away and you brought this movie called Believe. And I remember seeing you doing the rounds, taking it round, shopping. What was the process? You shooting the movie, the scripting, everything. Take us through the whole process. And what I love that you did, it was like checkmate.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this. And you had the numbers and the quality to everything. I was like, yes, I was so proud of you. Take us through how did that come about, that whole project?
So we had just moved to Atlanta and all of this rejection here and there. And I'm like, I'm not the type to sit around and wait for people to, call me. I want to be able to create work, create content, So if you're not calling me to work, I want to create my own work. So we got talking and I was talking with Rume. Rume came up with a concept, for the film. We started building the story and the script was written. And when we're producing it, in your mind, you will think you have a great project in your hands. You have something amazing working with the best of the best. And you know that the project is going to be great. So you're already thinking, last Netflix. And at that time, Netflix hadn't gone to Nigeria. It was still just, Netflix International. So it was always, it will go here, it will go there. People will jump at it and all of that. And then herein lies another problem. So when the project was finished and we started shopping the movie around, we got issues too, everywhere, which is weird because that's why a lot of people give up and go to other industries. So the problem we face is that here, I was the lead character, and I was Nigerian. There were other people there and other African Americans there. And a lot of them here could not understand why a Nigerian woman has to play the lead. And we were like, well, that's the story. So they were expecting to see a film that has to do with immigration, because that's what they always hear. When Africans make movies, it has to do with immigration. And we told a normal story of an African woman who had a job, who was educated, who was a marriage counselor, who had issues in her own life, you know, who was also helping other people, but had drama in her own love life. To them, it's unheard of to have an African female lead who is, number one, educated enough to be a PhD holder, who has money, who's thriving and doing well. Why? An African cannot be portrayed as that. It's too, nah, that concept is not acceptable here. Then back home, taking the movie back home, this is what we hear. And 100% of the movie was filmed in America. Oh, we live in America. Number one. Number two, the story is not an African story. It doesn't portray our people, our culture. I'm like, I didn't do a traditional movie. This is a normal film, like, because in Nollywood, we do love stories too. We do drama. We do all kinds of things. So why is this a problem? We didn't shoot in Nigeria. We didn't use more Nigerian people. We didn't tell a Nigerian story. We didn't tell a story of somebody who came from Nigeria to America. We didn't speak any Niger language. We didn't do this. So they cannot find a category for it. We said, okay, thank you. I know it's shocking, right? That's when we decided, you know what? Let's take the movie around by ourselves and shake people's minds. Let them see that there's so many other projects that are this good, but people just miss out on these things because some people decide that they want to be the ones to determine how your creativity should be and how you should express yourself. That's how we got to the UK. You see how that place was packed out.
Yes.
You were there.
Yes, no.
I was
yes.
packed. We did the same thing in LA. We showed it in LA. It was crazy. It was winning festivals left, right, and center. And then it was on Amazon. We left it on Amazon. And then after a while, we're like, you know what? We have something great going. Platforms are feeling like, oh, I'm not sure. You know what? Put it out there for the world to see. Because for us, it wasn't about the money. It was to make a statement that we can produce something that can take people back. Like, it will shock people that, oh, Africans did this. Yes, we did. We can do it, and we can even do more. We put it on YouTube. Trust me, in less than, it had over 3 million views.
I saw it. I was like, wow.
I woke up one morning, it was already 1 million views. Next day, 1 point something. I'm like, wait, what? I don't even think I did half as much publicity as I should have done. The thing was just going on its own. It now felt like, what's going on? You know,
Grace.
It made me realize that no matter what human beings say or do, when God gives you something and you put it out there, the people, I cannot tell you how many people sent me emails and messages telling me how that story changed them. Wow. A man was telling me, thank you for the story. Because of this, I'm going to go back and beg my wife, and I'll be sending her money for my children. I think I may have abandoned them for such a long time.
Wow.
So many people kept telling me, you changed my life. That Miss Ruby, I need a Miss Ruby in my life. Miss Ruby touched my heart. I'm thinking about going back to church now. A lot of people, marriages, people that were having issues, they told me to overnight marriage counselor. That's how I had to go and get certification in relationship and marriage coaching, you know, because a lot of people couldn't separate me, Stella, from Chelsea, the marriage counselor, because of the lines, because of it was so deep. And so people coming to me, see this problem that I saw in this film, that's what I went through. Is it that my wife is not making effort anymore to look nice for me? I'm like, that's not the case. I will start to talk all from one movie. I said, God, if this is the reason why you wanted us to do this thing, not about money or about what platform is it coming out on, you wanted it to have an impact in some people. If mission accomplished, mission accomplished. That was it.
Wow, beautiful, beautiful, honestly, beautiful. I always ask this question when I have an opportunity to speak to an actor.
Yeah.
Stella, who is a method actor?
Oh. Method actors are very rare to find. These are people that, you know, kind of like what I said to you, I'd rather you call me my character name on set. I'm living and breathing my character. You know, I want to play, for instance, I've been given the opportunity to play, who should I use as an example? Obieze Kwesili.
Oh.
Going to meet, I'm going to see her. I want to be in her 2 months. I want to watch her, see how she eats, how she walks, how she does what she does, her nuances. If she's angry, what does she do? If she's happy and excited, does she have anything that she does? What does her sigh sound like? All of that. I am entering this even physically, not just in my head, I am physically becoming that person. It's like I become a clone of that person, you know, without thinking it, until I start to breathe and live as the person. Method actors, the real method actors, are people that mentally and logically you have to be strong and balanced, because coming out of that character takes a whole lot. Yes, because you lose yourself completely, become someone else, and then trying to get back into yourself and forget about everything that you have been doing as someone else. It's not easy. You know, it's between. It's not believe, it's between. The name of the film is Between. So method acting is something that a lot of people don't teach anymore, because now we teach modern acting. Modern acting is for people to understand, for people to, you know, because of the kind of genre of movies that we tell nowadays. But I can give you an example of a method actor. Unfortunately, things are happening around him that people don't. If you see Will Smith in Ali, when he played Muhammad, you see Jamie Foxx playing, what's his name? The blind guy. Oh my God.
Ray Charles. Ray Charles, yeah.
You know, people like that, you look at them and you say, oh my gosh, how? Jamie Foxx is just a madman when it comes to things like this, because and that guy that played Notorious B.I.G., at the point I think what the real person looks like. So each time I think of Notorious B.I.G. or I hear the song, it's that actor's face that's in my head, because that boy had to B.I.G., like become him, embody him. That is not an easy thing to do. There are very few people.
Angela Bassett, Tina Turner.
My God, how did I forget that? You know what?
Oh my goodness.
It's a style of acting that people don't learn, people don't teach it anymore. A lot of acting students don't even know much about it, and it's crazy. It's crazy.
Why? Oh, sorry.
I did it once when I did a movie for Charles Novia. I think it was called Real Love, where I played blind. I had to physically go to Pacelli, School of the Blind. I had to go there. I had to work with I had to shut my eyes. They had to give me a cane. I had to learn to walk with the cane. I was going there on my own, even after the producer stopped. I was going there on my own. I would sit there. I would watch them. I would see how they interact, how they touch things, and then I started asking questions like, was she born blind, or did the blindness come later? Because that also determines how you play blind, you know? Because if you were born blind, it means you had to learn and adapt to your new state. But if you were born blind, it comes to you like that, because from the time you were born, you have been working without your sight. So all those things, you don't do. If I start talking, we won't finish today.
Wow. Tell us about the Actors Playhouse.
Oh yeah, an Actors Playhouse. So Over the years, I was watching a lot of our movies, and I realized that we were lacking something, and that is training of real, authentic actors. Most of them had an idea of what they were doing. Most of them were raw. Their talents were very raw. You know, talent is never enough. You have to be trained so that whatever raw talent you have, if you're trained, you have the skill to refine whatever it is you're doing and know why you're doing what you're doing. That helps you. So I started looking at a lot of actors and I'm like, no, this shouldn't be like this. And I don't like to complain. So I said to myself, instead of complaining, why don't you be a solution? Oh, this is not working well. Oh, they are not providing this for us. Oh, be the solution. Whatever you find that a void, if God put it in your heart and give knowledge that there's something wrong, when people are saying it's okay, you are seeing beyond and you see that there's something wrong. It means he wants you and he expects you to do something about it. And so instead of complaining, I decided, okay, let us see how I can help train these people so that when they start making films, I watch it, I'm smiling. Like, yes, this is what I'm talking about, because I love it when I see good actors. I become a fan instantly. And I start to follow them. And I'm like, I love your work. I forget who I am. And I'm like, I love this person. So I set up an actors Playhouse. First of all, to encourage actors, because I know how difficult it can be right now. And then also to the training that they're probably not getting. I know of a lot of acting schools in Nigeria. A lot of people have attended these acting schools, but when they come to my page, when they come to an actors Playhouse and I drop some things here, some terminologies, some this, they're like, I didn't learn that one. Oh, I don't know this one. Oh, really? And they're like, it's as if we have to unlearn a lot of things. And I'm like, it's important because when I came to America, I had to unlearn a lot of things. I didn't come here thinking, oh, I'm a big star. I know it all. Lies. I realized that our style of acting was more for stage. I'm a theater. So I can tell you that for free. That most of what you see in our films, now stage acting they do. Because you always ask yourself, why is it different? When you watch an American film, the way it makes you feel, they carry you to the point that you look at the actors and forget who they are in real life. But when we do our own, now buzz anyhow, and we are expressive people. Our eyes, they always open. Any small thing, this, that, all that, you know, all our crazy dramatic man. Is us as a people, I love it. But when it comes to making films with a camera, the camera captures what the human eye might not be able to capture. So even a little, this wink, all these small things, the camera captures it. So they will always tell you here, less is more. Less is more. The camera, what it has to see. Don't overdo it. Camera. I came here and learned everything that I had been learning back home, and I had to go back to training. I'm still learning. I still have people that I go to mentoring. I'm still reading every day. I'm still trying to upgrade because cameras are changing, its functions are changing, movie styles are changing, genres of movies are changing. People are making movies and directing processes are different nowadays, So in terms of doing your scenes as a continuation, you can film opening the door today, and next week is when you film when you come out of the door. So being able to have the same emotion, the same intensity to do all of that, it takes a lot. So actors, I had to, after realizing everything that I had learned, everything that I had done here, I said, it would be fair to have all of this knowledge and keep it to myself. I want to spread it to as many people as I can so that they will in turn spread it to more people, and let us start to do things the way we should do things. So yeah.
Awesome. I just saw this crazy comment. Somebody said, I beg, drag us like a tiger generator. I couldn't help it. That was too much for me. That was too much for me. Stella, from day one, you've always been so outspoken, so fearless. I remember in those days, I'll be like, hey, did she just say that? No, for real, oh. Yeah. Even me, when we say I get crazy, when you start like this, I'll be like, no. Where did you get that from? It's like you go in hard. especially during that period that you took on that man.
Yeah.
That underage, the girl child thing. You went in, and I'm like,
yeah.
I was like, where did you get that from?
I'd had experiences as a young girl growing up. I talked about it on Bookie's show, after being molested at the age of 8, and how society will make you as a little girl feel like it was your fault, or don't talk about it because other people have gone through it. If you talk about it, you're a bad girl, you are wayward, you are this, you are that. Nobody will die. It's all on you. You become the bad person for being the victim of that. And I held that in for so long that after a while, I started seeing these things happening around me. Funny enough, I couldn't speak for me because I still had that mindset that it was too late to talk about my own. But it's not too late to talk about other girls that are going through it, that will go through it, and all of that. And then I started looking and researching, and I started partnering with a lot of organizations like Project Alert and other people. I would go to court to see how they would treat women and how they would take children from the women who were battered or the women who were beaten. I would see little girls who have become moms, 12-year-old, 13-year-old girls who have become mothers, and now they have like terminal diseases. They have damage to their pelvic bone because they were too young to carry, for a child to pass through them. Everything all stretched. And then the issue of VVF now came up. Like when that happens, they're not able to control bladder leaks anymore. They have to carry a bag of pee for the rest of their life. I heard of a woman told me a story of how in a very deep forest where she lives in her village, that there's an abandoned building where if you go near, like 50 yards near that place, it's already smelling because you have girls there with bags of pee. There are dead bodies there too. Because these girls, when they marry them off at the age of 10, 11, and they're forced to have kids and they develop VVF, the man is not willing to start spending money taking them to the city for treatment and all that. They toss them in there where nobody sees them until they start to smell, get rotten, and then they have the local village boys dig holes and dump them inside. And the other girls are there. I also went on a visit to Liberia, and I went to the hospital in Cameroon. I went to the hospital in Cameroon years ago, and they took me to the female ward. And I was asking them, like, who are these young girls? Why are they like this? And they're like, oh, some of them have VVF, some of them have cancer, some of them have STDs that degenerated into something bad because they didn't have money for treatment. Most of them are sexually transmitted diseases. These girls couldn't have been more than 9 and all that. So I think what happened to me was information overload. It was coming at me. At that period, God said, I want you to see it and let your heart be breaking every day so that you will do something about it. Because trust me, where that boldness came from, I no plan I'm come. As a kid, my voice was so light that I didn't like talking much in public as a younger person. So where that boldness came from, I don't know. But I just said to myself, now once person they die, I will speak what's in my heart. I will say it. If you don't like it, then do something about it. So when I found out about that senator's own, I'm like, what? The people that are supposed to be upholding our constitution, the people that are supposed to be fixing our nation, you are the ones doing this. Then where's the hope for us? If you tell me, oh, you are allowed to by who? So that's when I realized that we signed Child Rights Act, the African Charter, everything. We signed it. We are a part of it. Saying that you should not, if a child is not eligible to vote, if a child is not eligible to have a driver's license, that child is a child. That person is not allowed to marry. You can't. So when you sit there as a senator and you want to speak English for me, I will tell you that myself, I can speak the English, but my English makes sense. Yours doesn't, because you have no right to marry a 13-year-old as a senator. Because once you marry, the education stops, they become wives, then the next thing they become mothers, and that's the end of her dream. How do you end somebody's life? Is a man, a little child, and most of these things are because of money. suffering. Girls are sold off. Girls are used to repay debts, you know. I'm like, what? They're human beings, for goodness sake. So, man, when Al Jazeera called me for that thing, I went off. I said, what do you want to make it happen? I don't care. But I was ready. I continued. I didn't look back from then. My advocacy for this thing, I didn't look back. Domestic violence, anything that has to do with, no, I know they look back. No.
Thank you so much, honestly, for being so like, for being so real and just cause man, I followed you, I followed everything, and it it really breaks my heart. 12-year-old, 13-year-old girls, how do you even start to do that with them? How?
That's rape. That's rape.
It is. Let's call it what it is. It is. You know, soldier in red lipstick. I love it. I love it. Beautiful, man. Come on. Spill some more.
My journey, my faith journey as a Christian, it's been a roller coaster. I was one of those. That's why I speak so emotionally about it today when I tell people it's not about your pastor, it's not about the church building. Build your relationship with God. Because I was one of those who was hurt by different churches and different pastors and I said, you know what, me and church, we are done. But it was stupid.
Wow.
I allowed it to affect my relationship and my friendship with God. I had a beautiful relationship with him, but I allowed earthly man, to come in between that because of, say, the pastor, you can't do this, stop this. No. So one day I was sitting down and something just kept bugging me. Like, oh girl, it's time for what? The Holy Spirit kept pushing me, like, you have to do what God has called you to do. I say, I'll not be pastor. I don't want to do anything that has to do with church. Even at that time, I didn't want to do anything that had to do with women, because I said the issues that I faced in my life with all the talking and then are women. So leave me alone. I'm not doing. I ran. This bugged me for almost a year. Like, I would wake up and my heart is heavy. There are so many people who are hurting. There are so many females like you who want to know God. They are discouraged. They're confused. They are doubting. They don't even know where to start. I'm like, I don't know where to start. Why are you asking me? To the point that he gave me the name, like soldier in red lipstick. I kept asking, why? Why red lipstick? Because people question soldier in red lipstick. Red lipstick. That's a Queen of the Night kind of thing. So it just means when you say I'm in the Lord's army, you're a soldier for Christ, right? Red lipstick, red represents boldness. And for you to have a lipstick, you're a woman. So it's just a bold woman who's a soldier for Christ, no matter what. That's it. We're just fighting. We're not captains. We're soldiers because we're still trying to build on that. So I didn't know how to start, where to start. So I started on social media. I started with Instagram. And I was too shocked how people started following that page, because I'm like, each time I come, I'm like, I'm not here to preach, or I don't know more than you when it comes to Bible, but I want to share my heart. So I only go on there when the Holy Spirit gives me a message or gives me a revelation. And I would just do that, share something. And I would tell all the women there, please, most of you have more knowledge of the Bible than I do. So please send me your videos. Talk about whatever you want to talk about. Lead prayer today, because we used to do every Friday prayer. Lead prayer. We do when women pray together. We do when women praise and all of that. So let's do this together. And it became such a huge thing. Now there are over 10,000 women in the group. Until today, I'm still saying, God, what do you want to do with this group? I don't know where it's going. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I have it all figured out. I've just been following the leading of the Holy Spirit. But to tell you the truth, it has helped me as well, because I know that for the Holy Spirit to be giving me messages, I have an assignment. I can't afford to mess it up. I can't afford to fail. I can't afford to let him down, because God will ask me. It's one thing to have an idea to do something. It's another thing to know that if now only me, I'm not going to do this kind of thing. I'm going to do the one will bring money. But this is not me. It has to be the Holy Spirit, because this is not what I would be doing. And when I started, it's as if the enemy said, hey, you want to be promoting God. I will show you, Pepe. The of setback that I went through that period. Everything just went dry. Bam. Once, it was as if they just block everybody's eyes and ears and forget Stella. She doesn't exist. Working for me, people I knew, everybody just turned away. At first, I was angry with the world. I'm like, but the Holy Spirit said, it's not them. Shebi, you are a soldier for Christ. You are ready to stand behind Christ and say, no matter what, I'll follow you anywhere. I will stand for you. Let's see you stand for me now.
Wow.
He told me,
wow.
God allowed it. So when I send you on an errand, it's okay. I'm ready. Here I am, Lord. Send me. Okay. Let's see how ready you are. Let's see how ready when the things you want are not happening the way you want it and you feel like you're being attacked. Let's see if you will run away or if you will stay. Weird. I ran for 3 months first because I'm human. 3 months I ran. But then I looked at myself and said, who am I running to? Who am I?
Exactly.
Am I going to run away from God? How? What is my life without God?
Exactly.
Back, focused on it, and I said, you know what? Whatever happens, happens. Father, if now you send me this message, you know what? Let me hungry die for America. You will not let me become blessed in America. You will take care of me. And you know what he did? He did. He turned everything around. And I have met the most amazing women. I have built a community of sisters that we're there for each other. When anything, one person, we're on WhatsApp call, we are video calling ourselves, we are standing in gap, we are praying. Like, I'm going to Nigeria by God's grace soon, and I already have people there who are like, when you're coming, we're going to organize like a meetup for Soldier and Red Lipstick Women. Let's just meet and pray together, and everything excited about, you know. So we're growing spiritually.
Awesome.
Well,
awesome.
And yeah.
Awesome. Oh, wow. Wow. Awesome. Awesome. That is so beautiful. Stella, the shift today. And when I wake up, sometimes I get worried. What's going on with us? Now there's a fusion of kidnapping, rape. Now we're seeing these things that are going down in the schools and all that. What can we do to change the mindset? Because is it too much exposure? What is it? What's really, really going on? Our kids, it's like they've just gone AWOL. What do we do?
I feel like one of the major issues that we have that we're facing today is the failure and the function of society. Because when people came up and were blaming the schools, the teachers, you know, government, this and that, I'm like, when you blame all these people finish, let's sit down and look at ourselves as a people, as a society, as what we have allowed, as what we have accepted. I remember a time when people kept calling me over ITK. When I would complain about certain types of lyrics, I would complain about certain things that I see on TV. People will say, hey, you're hiding your children, you're shielding your children. I say, yes, and I know why. There are certain places I wouldn't let them go, certain people I wouldn't let them get involved with. There are certain trips that my children's school want to take, and I'm like, if I'm not going there, they're not going. You know, if you're going to take them somewhere, if I'm not going to be there, they're not going. If my children must go, I will take them to that country myself. I will show them. I will take them on the tour. You want to go to London? I will take you. I will raise the money. If I don't have, I'll borrow. But I knew for a fact that we were heading to a place where if we don't reel ourselves back in, we're going to lose them. I kept saying that we're losing these young people. We're losing these young people. There was a video and people came and they were insulting me. When I said, I referenced Asha's song. I said that song means a lot. And people, they enjoyed the song, they didn't listen. Who's responsible for what we teach our children? Is it the internet or the stars on television? Why? Who is responsible? It is us as a society. It's making it seem like, oh, it's okay to use profanity. It's okay for people to show, you know, private areas on TV. It's okay. Oh, it's okay for a child to go to a party and be grinding another child and adults are recording and they're hailing. Oh, this might be kids happy dance. Oh, it's okay. Oh, my child uses the F word. Oh, it's okay. But when I started having conversations with my children, people say I took it too far because I said I wouldn't let them wear skulls on their bodies. I wouldn't let them have anything that looked like it wasn't, pure. I wouldn't let them use the F word. My children don't use the F. I don't use the F word.
Come
And
on.
there are some things that they show on TV. I know that my children are not wayward, but I would insist, like, I really don't want you to see that. It's not like I don't believe that you have a mind of your own. It's not like I'm saying, oh, when you see it, it will spoil you. No, I'm saying what the enemy's intention is for our generation today and for the end time which we're living in is not to tell you that God is bad. Don't follow God. No, it's to numb your senses to what is evil, to make you accept it and think that it's okay.
Yes.
When your senses are numb to these things, then it's so good. That is why a 10-year-old can have active sex and it's being recorded and is not flinching and she's moving like she's been doing this for a while. So the question will be, what has she seen and what has been done to her to the point that at this age she already knows how to do this? Because we are not thinking of what that girl has experienced physically with a man in her home. She just didn't do that video and learn to do that day.
Yes. Somebody has been torn over her home.
It wasn't rape from what I saw.
Yeah. Yeah.
What has happened to this girl's mind because of what she has been exposed to and things have been done to her? What has happened to her mind to the point that she will do that, see that they are recording, and is comfortable doing that with people in the same room with her? She's not up to 12 or 13. No. We as a society, we are shouting as we are not thinking about what happened to this girl. Did she tell anyone, or has she carried this in her heart for so long that she's become numb, like my body is nothing to me, I can use it however I want? If that is the case, how many other kids are like that? Did society give young girls and boys too, especially boys, but boys,
especially boys,
to keep quiet, man up and be bold? How dare you as a boy come out and say you were molested? Society will condemn you. So as a society, the way we have stifled our children to the point that they can't speak concerning certain things. As a 44-year-old woman, I know what happened to me. I confronted my issue just last year after 35 years of this thing happening. People will say, why didn't you say it? Why didn't you come up and do it at that time? When it happened, why didn't you say, do you know what it takes to experience that? You can't process it. You can't process it, let alone find the words to say it. And then you want to speak in a society that will first slap you for opening your mouth to say that kind of thing?
Yeah.
So when we talk about solution, let's do what Michael Jackson said. The man in the mirror is you and I. Is the society we live in. It's how we handle information like this. It's how we raise our children. That kids are afraid to discuss certain things with their parents.
Yes.
How they born you when you go discuss sex with your papa and your mama? Are you the craze? We don't talk about these things. We don't educate
Stella
about these things. We don't.
Stella, somebody has been messing with that girl.
Yes.
Before this video thing. You can't tell me. It could be maybe a driver, a carpenter, a neighbor, an uncle. Someone has been messing with this girl.
When I hate seeing videos like that because it messes with my mind, but I saw it because I suspected that what I will see will give me the answers to. Because when it happened, of course, trust, a lot of people were sending me messages. Stella, you won't talk. You won't talk. I say, you won't call me. But over time, I don't just open my mouth and speak on things that I don't have full disclosure of.
Yeah.
Before the video, I saw someone who didn't care much about her body or what she was doing. She was not, bother her. Her face, everything about her, it didn't bother her. And when a child gets to the point where, I'm doing it, you're recording me, my face is here, I'm not afraid. There was somebody on that bed. There was somebody standing there. They were talking like nothing was going on. So imagine what kind of thing is happening in her head and in the minds of those people that were there that didn't mind. I go there here, they watch film with my children at my age. My first daughter is 23. Ordinary say people they kiss for TV. I start to feel very awkward because my daughter is right there. She's 23. She's an adult. I'm an old woman. But for me to still feel very awkward like this is it's like say medicine quick pass now. What's happening? That's me. That's a lot of us. But the younger generation now, they don't care.
Yeah.
The content that we put out as adults, the things that we allow, it bothers me. That's why I'm not a two worker, I'm not a two make friends like that, because when I speak, people think, Stella, you're too serious. I'm like, no, I'm not serious. I'm the most playful person you can ever meet, but there are some things that I do not compromise. I do not tolerate certain things. I'm not Assistant Jesus. I'm not the best Christian in the world. Trust me, I'm a sinner like everybody. But you see, this is not about, oh, she deformed Christian. No, it's just about the way I know to live. The way I taught my children that if anybody does anything that makes you uncomfortable, don't wait until they do you like this. Tell me. If you are hugging a man, I taught my children from the age of 4. If you hug man, no, don't ever hug full frontal. Give them sight. Don't ever let somebody's chest touch your chest. You see, here, there are parts of your body that are no-go area. Whether man, whether woman, don't let them touch it. Anybody touches you there, hit them, yell as you are running. Let somebody hear you running. Tell me anything you tell me, I will believe you, and I will deal with it immediately. My children knew that if you want to mess with me, be ready for my mother. Because I was like that, mother hen. I don't care, teacher or student or who you be. If you make my child uncomfortable and she feels like she can't be around you, there's a problem. I say, even if my brother, my papa, my uncle, my best friend, any man that says, sweetheart, you're a big girl now, come and sit on my leg. I don't sit on anybody's leg. Mommy said I shouldn't sit on your leg. My children know that. People, they know they come on, so it's as if they don't like you. I say, oh, they love people, but they will not do what you expect them to do. Don't bother. I would tell this my children, they have a mind of their own, don't mind that. Now me teach them like that.
Nice one.
Don't allow yourself to be. So as a society, it is us. We are the problem. Government, government don't fall from sky.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
Government. We are the government. We are the society. We are the decaying society because we have accepted. And I'm not shocked because our Bible don't tell us, say, end time. All these things will happen. But the expectation is those who know the truth, those who know better, the moment we sit on the fence and don't say anything about it and don't teach our own children, don't try to change our own community. Like we ask every adult, how many children in your neighborhood do you mentor? How many children do you talk to about these things? How many people aside from your own children, do you see anyone out there that you say, I'm a mentor to this person? Is there any young girl that talks to you about her sexuality? It starts from us. Constitution now, human being make them now, we be constitution.
Yes. Yep. Yes. And you know, Stella, the one other thing that really, really worries me is this. It's so easy now to go and jump off the Third Mainland Bridge or to take sniper. And I'm thinking, how did we get here? Yeah. I never ever thought we would ever get to that time where it would just be so easy for me to contemplate suicide and just go through with it. And they drink sniper.
It's because, look, let me be honest with you. Mental health has always existed. But like I said, we are raised as a people to survive. No matter what else you go through. If in America,
that's right.
Like I was telling them the other day, there was a school shooting. One child was shot in school. From the next day till the month after that day, every day therapists were coming to that school to talk to the classmates of the person that died, because it's a traumatic experience to the other children. It's a traumatic experience for the teachers as well. That's what they do for here. Anything, you lose a loved one, you lose a business, you lose money, you break up. Oh yeah, therapist. for our side. We don't believe in that. Even though there are many therapists there, we don't believe that. Tell you they crazy, make her carry money, go pay person. Say because my mama die, you they crazy, or because we dey quarrel for house, may I can't go pay person. We don't believe in those things. But over time, it gets to the point where things are easily available to cause self-harm. Things are available. Things are like, you know, and this issue of I give up, you don't do, make her they go. People take it as a joke because how stopped caring. You know, sometimes you don't have to hear someone say something before you know that there's something wrong with the person, and all you have to do is check on that person.
Yes.
We have become so self-absorbed that we don't consider other people's feelings. We're so emotionally unintelligent. I've had days where people call me out of the blue, Stella, you pour into a lot of us today. Let me just, how are you? I say, I'm fine. I say, are you good? Good? I'm good. She said, no, you are not good. You have to be good. What's wrong? What's going on? I said, I think. She said, it's okay. Let's just pray about it. Let's talk about it. Let me come and buy something. Let me take you out. You know, but there are people that are crying out. Like, there are some celebrities that they have been dissing up and down. This one don't they crazy so. This one they smoke weed too much. From don't turn devil. Oh, see what she's posting. Oh, all these messages. This one a mad person, no. Person could be crying out for help.
Yes.
And we have become trolls, that we don't care that there's something different about this person. There's something about this message that's not really, it's not a good thing. There's something wrong. Can we check on this person? Can we pray for this person? Is everything okay? No, instead we insult the person first. This person has lost weight dramatically. The person don't they take drugs. The person don't they do this. Meanwhile, the person they go through kidney problem. The person they go through cancer, but because you not talk am, you don't insult first. Blogs don't carry am. This one don't talk. Everybody, depression sets in.
Yes.
You could handle some issues that disturbed you mentally because you were dealing with it with yourself, your family, maybe your close friends. But now, because of the internet and social media, the problems are so out there that it's embarrassed. Or you go on social media and you see people doing things that you are lacking in your life or you think is making you give up. You see front and inside you're like, no, I must be the problem. There's no point. What am I living for? And then if you notice, most times before people actually end up killing themselves, they say something.
Yes,
something.
They do. They
give a hint because it's not like they really want to die. But a part of their brain is slowing down. It's been covered with so much negativity that they're not able to lift themselves up. But they just give a hint somehow. All it takes is one person.
Yes.
To just say, hold on. Just hold on for me. Let's talk. I beg. I can't tell you how many people have kill themselves that they have reached out to me and I'm shaking, literally. I'm scared because I don't know what to say that would take them off. I'm not a clinical therapist. I have to be careful. I have to be careful to listen. I have to be careful not to tell them, but it's okay now. Is this what's wrong? There are some things you can't say to a person that's at that point.
Yes.
But the most important thing is, all I hear them say is, thank you for listening. At least somebody cares. That's all. So social media has added to Allah. The fact that people are now very self-absorbed and very mean in what they say to others has added to it. So some people just say, you know what, I'm done. I'm done.
I will share briefly what happened to me. This person was actually a huge fan of mine. He was in the army. And I was trying to speak to him and he said, it's too late, wait MC. I already took the sniper. And I said, what? He said, I've already taken. I said, please, where do you live? So we're able to track him. They broke down his door and they took him to the hospital. And then after coming, I was like, okay, now that I've come around, what next? I said, calm down, please, just please, I beg you. Today, he's such a bond. I said, see, if you're gone, look at you today now. Look at you today now.
Wow.
You understand?
Yeah.
He was. He said, I don't. He said he just didn't understand why he reached out to me of all people, and I started to respond to him immediately.
He was a
When he said it's too late, I already took the sniper. I was so afraid. I was like, sniper.
Most of these people cry out.
They do. No, they do. They do.
Mentally, they can't move, but spiritually, they're crying out. So it makes them drop hints. It's left for us to be kind enough, good-hearted enough to take hints and say, let me just check on this person. I've had to send DM I've never spoken to because I just saw them randomly. I saw their post. I'm like, this doesn't sound right. I'm like, I know you don't know me. This is who I am. But I just want you to know that someone out there sees you. I see you. God bless you. That's all I say.
Wow.
And they respond.
Wow. Awesome. Stella, let's talk about the magazine. Awesome magazine. What's happening? I love it.
Thank you.
What's happening to your magazine? Yeah.
It's doing good.
You're just
Again, I was given this burden to create something that would give women a medium of expression. It's an all it's for women by women. All the writers are women. Creative designer, photographer, everybody is female. But it's a social justice and lifestyle magazine. So it's not just your regular fashion, glam here, this here. We talk about serious, important stuff too. We talk about business, helping women organize their finances, things that they should understand about the law, how to protect themselves. We talked about relationships. We talk about different things that will help you. Every woman has to be able to find things in there that they can connect with. And we make sure that it's not an unreachable thing where you look at a magazine and say, all these people, they are too high for me. I am putting normal, everyday women in my front cover. I'm not looking for size 2 to put in my front cover. No, I'm every woman that makes an impact, that does something. We have a theme. We put a woman there. We talk to her about how she got to where she is so that other people can benefit from it. We celebrate women. We have a lot of ads in there that, businesses owned by women. We just have a place where it's like saying, girlfriend, let's just go and have entertainment, information, everything in one place. It's we release 4 editions every year, and the first one, my daughters and I were on the front cover. That's the first time that a lot of people got to see what my kids look like. Anyway, we're 2 years old now. Yay! We've been pushing. It's not easy, but it's doing good. It's growing. It's getting better. More to know about it, was spreading, and I'm just very grateful that I'm able to carry out assignments that was put inside my hand. So now the rest.
Awesome. What's next? What's next for Stella?
A lot. My academy, I established Gaily Collections, my online store that's been doing very well. People have been patronizing. I'm grateful for their business. It's an accessory store. I curated accessories and hair. So I'm selling that. My academy is coming up as well. My acting class, an actor's Playhouse, is coming up. I'm creating content with a lot of my people here because I practice what I preach. So I'm doing a lot of collaborative work with people. I have a couple of short films and feature-length movies to do that we're doing. And I'm planning to do stage production as well. I'm producing and directing. What else? I'm trying to do a mini reality show. I call it mini because it's not like what you see regularly on Netflix, but something that will impact young, talented people and they will benefit from it. What else? There's a lot that's happening. I'm going to Nigeria hopefully in a month plus. I have a lot of work lined up that I'm going there to do. Different things. Yeah.
Hello, good evening. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
How you doing? What's your name? Have you got a question for Stella?
My name is Steve. Mommy Stella, good evening, ma.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah, go ahead. You have a question? Don't be shy.
Don't really. I just joined the live. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what you're talking about now.
Okay.
Okay.
Don't mind her. She added herself, but then she's not saying. Now she's seeing her face. Stella, what is a dream? What is a dream role for you? Like, I would love to just play this role. What would that role be? A dream role?
Two, please, not just one. I want to give you two.
Two. Okay, give me two. Give me two.
A detective who is like a bad cop. A bad, is into crime too, but is a cop. I want to do that. And then I want to play someone with schizophrenia. I don't know. I just want to do that. Something challenging that make me really work and enter into the mindset of someone who has mental imbalance, to know how it feels. They're laughing at me here. Like, it's only SD that kind of thing. But I would really love to have that experience and do something massively different that people will look at me and go, and I want to look different, hair different, eyes different, everything, like almost unrecognizable. I want to do something that people ask themselves, was that Stella? Or was this someone? That's what I want to do. Yeah. So because of your exposure and I wanted to ask those terms, gospel, secular. What's your take? I have never been one to separate both, because some people say it's secular music because you didn't put God or Jesus inside. I have listened to a lot of songs that didn't have the word God or Jesus in it, that has never been played in a church or in a gospel radio. But those songs got me to want to love life and my creator and understand that there's a higher power than I am. That, I don't separate it. So when people say, oh, you say gospel singer, I'm like, who's because I can sing a normal song. There are some songs that India Ari has done, and she didn't put the word Jesus or God, but you can tell that this is something that edifies your maker. But she's not seen as a gospel artist. So when people say them, I don't understand why. I don't see why, because I can preach a message. I can say, not even preach. I don't even like using the word preach for myself. I can speak on a message and you will know exactly what I'm talking about, but I'm not a pastor. I don't consider myself a preacher. I'm a person who's spreading the good news. I'm spreading a message. What's that message? Is it salvation? Is it love? Is it freedom? God is love. We can never separate God from love. God is love. So it's in the purity of the song. I don't see why it should be separated. Now, it's a different thing when you have vulgar music or whatever, talking about club drink, that's different. But some songs don't deserve to be tossed aside because they didn't mention God or Jesus, and they say this is secular. What's the my sister, if I start, those sister, I don't come. Oh my God.
Sis, thank you so much. Thanks for blessing us with your presence. Thank you for coming on the Gatekeeper series. Sis, I love you. You're such an inspiration to me and many other people. Thank you for doing what you do. Keep representing, keep blazing, keep keeping it real. I had mad fun tonight. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you for all you do. Honestly. Twali.
Thanks.
Twali. All right. Have a wonderful evening. Thank
you
you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks to everyone for coming on. I knew it was going to be a blast. Stells, holla.
What juice for backyard?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Take care. Have a wonderful evening. Or have a wonderful afternoon on your side of the pond.
Yes.
Bye-bye. Bye, everyone. Thanks for coming. Thanks for joining the Gatekeeper series. Gotta go now. Thank you for supporting the Gatekeeper series. Next week, I'm not even going to let the cat out of the bag. But look out. She's female, a huge artist, That's all. Too close to my. See you guys. Love you. Good night.